Kate Milavalcha. Welcome to Irish Granny Helen. I'm making this video. You'll have to excuse me. I'm on my way to work. Pardon my bird. Scarlett, you want to say hello? She usually doesn't perform on command, but I don't know if you can see her up there in the top corner there. She's busy eating vegetable noodles. Okay. This is for a subscriber. Somebody asked me to do a reading on two people. I kind of know that one of them's a singer. That's all I know. I don't have any idea who the other person is. I'm assuming it's a guy. So Selena and Benny. I know nothing about them. So if you're a fan of theirs and you've come on here to look at this card reading, please don't get mad at me and call me a hater, because that's what happened when I read on Taylor Swift, who I also know nothing about. Don't get mad at me. I'm not a hater. I have no opinion. I don't know who these people are other than she's a singer. I assume he's a singer too. I don't know. So we're going to read cards on them. And I thought, obviously, I'm getting the impression, the vibe, they're a couple, or they're soon to be a couple, or soon not to be a couple. I don't know. So I thought I'd do my Valentine's cards just to encourage the love vibe. I hope I'm right about that. And we'll do a reading on her. Then we'll do a reading on Benny, and then we'll do a reading on them together, and we'll just see what we get. And like I said, don't blame the messenger. I'm only going to interpret the cards. I have no idea what I'm talking about, so that should give you a lot of confidence. So let's read cards on Selena, which, by the way, is a beautiful name. It comes from Latin, and it's the goddess of the moon, which is about inner wisdom, hidden knowledge, the esoteric, the occult. It can also be about secrets, which can be either good or bad. The goddess of the moon. It's really a beautiful name. Okay. Oops. Okay, Selena. These cards don't want to be shuffled, and they also don't want to stay on the table. Okay. Okay. Now this is about Selena individually, but it's impossible to not mention Benny. I'm going to assume several things, that this is some sort of romantic entanglement, either already existing or in some state of flux, becoming or ending. I don't know, but I'm getting it. It's a romantic entanglement, and we're looking at where she is in relationship to relationships. It's very interesting. At the heart, we get the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is a very interesting card. Aren't these the cutest cards? It's a very interesting card. And it's crossed by the Eight of Swords reversed. So what we have here is somebody very emotional, somebody very loving, somebody with lots of feels. And probably the kind of person who, for a very long time, has I'm getting this impression of somebody who has had all the choices in the world and has been deluded by some of these choices. So let's just put it in the context of a romance, since that's what this is all about here. She's had her pick. She could have anybody she wanted. And she's in love with love. And I think she's made some awkward choices in the past. Like maybe her picker was a little, maybe not broken, but a little needed a tune-up. But that seems to be over. It seems like the fantasy is over, and the blindfold is off. It's kind of what those two cards mean together to me. And I think she thinks she's found the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, depending on the context, is a strong person, a person who is intrinsically, intuitively inside of himself a leader, a person of action, somebody who will reach out to get what he wants. I get the sense of somebody who's self-assured. So the blindfolds are off. The fantasy is over. She's seeing, oh, I like this guy. But I get the Three of Cups reversed. Let me tell you about reversals. Reversals can be intensifications or they can be opposites. I'm getting the impression that this is an intensification. This does not look like a sad reading. This looks like stars in your eyes reading, hearts and flowers reading. And it's not just the cards. It's, well, not just the design of the cards. It is the cards themselves, what they mean. I think there's an intense sense of celebration, a sense of having found the one. In the past, interestingly for her, we get the Star. Well, that speaks for itself. It's a very positive card. It's a card about optimistic life. It's in the past, so I don't want to use the word future, but it's the person with maybe potential, tons of potential, charisma, talent, opportunity, and success to this point. And in the near future, we get the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords in a traditional tarot deck, you see two people in a boat, a man and a woman, and the woman is holding a child. Two people in a boat. They're kind of moving away from the viewer. They're in water. He's standing rowing. And it gives the message of emotionally moving into better times. You're crossing water. That's about emotion. And swords are interesting because they can be about intelligence. I'm getting the feeling that she is making a smart choice, thinking of it as leading her forward into better times emotionally. Now, this is her. The Three of Swords reversed. Now, the Three of Swords is a bad card. You don't want to get the Three of Swords upright because what it is, it's a gigantic heart with three big swords plunged through it. You don't need interpretation to figure out what that's about. You know, a knife through the heart. But it's reversed. I feel like this is saying it's the end of suffering for her. The Three of Swords can mean a lot of heartache and heartbreak and pain, but also healing. And when it's reversed, I'm taking it to mean the opposite. because it's a reversal. I think it's healing from heartbreak. I think she's feeling optimistic, healed, happy. She's in love. The Queen of Cups. She's in love. God, I hope I'm right. That's going to be interesting. Hopes and fears, the High Priestess. I think this is her hope and fear. I think she worries in the dark of night when she's alone. She worries, oh, I feel like this is good and this is right. I just have not always been the best at picking romances in the past. I've waited a long time, and I'm hoping that I feel like it's good. I'm hoping it is. This is somebody whose life is just, in every aspect, it's a success. And the only thing she's been uncertain of is love, and now she feels like she has it. The High Priestess is inner wisdom, secret knowledge. I think she's learned from her pain. Right. Okay, and our outcome, the King of Pentacles. This is about a man with money. So in this reading, so I'm going to assume that Benny has money. However, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I think she's got money. So this is not a relationship based on greed or financial gain or a desire for a material improvement in life, or if I get involved with this person, I'll have long-term security. None of those things are coming into play on either part. I don't think he's using her. I don't think he's using her for what she has. I think they're both settled in maybe their professional life. I don't know, Benny doesn't ring a bell to me at all, so I don't know. And then it's, crossed by the Fool. Doesn't sound good, but it is. Look at this happy card. This just the style of this particular deck. This is not what the Fool looks like in a traditional deck. But how apropos for this reading. The Fool is about starting off on a new adventure, going ahead and taking that leap of faith. I think this is a leap of faith for her. So what I see about her, we don't have any cards for singing that I can think of. But what I see about her is somebody who's had gifts. That's what this is about. Who's used them well, who's made a life for herself, who had a rocky start with relationships, who now feels really good about the relationship she's in, but deep down inside, she's like, oh my God, I hope I'm making the right decision. Not because she has something necessarily to worry about overtly that anybody would point to. No red flags is what I mean. It's her own insecurity. And she's trying to reach into her experience and what she's learned and assure herself, go ahead, take this leap of faith. This guy's a keeper. Okay, now we're going to read cards on him. And I know even less about him than I know about her. So this will be interesting. Is he a little bit older? I'm not even sure how old she is. I know she's young, but everybody under 60 looks young to me these days. So. People like, the doctor is practically a child. Okay. Benny. What can we learn about Benny just as an individual? Oh, do you like that noise? Okay. so cute. Oh, this is really interesting reading. This guy is an interesting character. I wish I knew what he did. Okay. Oh, maybe I know. Okay, so at the heart of this, we get the Ace of Wands. If you remember in her reading, we got the King of Wands. For him, we get the Ace of Wands. Usually, in a conventional tarot deck, you'll see a hand coming out of clouds holding what looks like a long stick. Signing contracts is what it always makes me think of. Writing love letters. But it's about action. It's about taking action with a sense of authority over it and not being afraid to take what you want. Oh. Okay, I'm going to say he's a musician. I'm just going to say that. I'm not sure. And it's crossed by the Ace of Pentacles. This guy has talent and a knack for making money. He's confident in his path in the world, like what he does for a living and how he handles just, life, things, and independently of personal relationships, which we'll talk about, but just navigating the world, the daily issues of life. Very confident. I get enormously confident vibes from this guy. Why? The Magician. The Magician, as above, so below. This guy has it happening and will make it happen. This is the kind of person, if you watch my videos, you'll know my opinion of vision boards, so you'll get the joke. This is the kind of guy, the kind of person of either gender, who would make a vision board and it would happen. He is confident, in control, a man of action, a lot of talent, and he's been successful. The Hierophant. Now remember, for her, we got the High Priestess. For him, we got the Hierophant. This is like always the conventional card. It looks like the Pope. It's a symbol of traditions and conventions and the way things should be, and inner knowledge and moral guidance and confident cards. This guy is confident. God, I hope he doesn't turn out to be, like Mick Jagger or somebody. Okay. This is so cute. The Knight of Cups. This is in the recent past. So the Knight of Cups, you see a knight in armor on a horse holding out a cup. It's the symbol of offering emotional connection. It's the symbol for there may be a new love coming into your life. Be careful. You can't entirely be sure you can trust him. But this is in the past. I think there was a little hesitancy at the beginning here on both their parts. She's been burned, I think, and he's been kind of a wild card. He's kind of been woohoo. And this relationship, I think, took them by surprise, maybe. And we get the Ten of Pentacles. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb and say something that I have no business saying because I have absolutely no idea. But from this card, I'm getting the vibe that their families are happy about this. Ten of Pentacles is often about generational stuff. You'll get this when you want to talk about a will or an inheritance or something genetic in the family, or some, great-great-grandparent is haunting you, no. I get a sense that there's extended family of some sort. I don't know, but they feel good. Maybe it's friendship circles. They feel good about this. And now for him, I get the Ace of Swords. And this is hilarious because look, he's playing the harp. This guy has to be a musician. That's all I can say. The Ace of Swords is about starting something new. So he got the Ace of Pentacles, starting something in the world. The Ace of Wands, taking action, starting a new project. The Ace of Swords, this is speaking truth. I think he's quite honest with her. I don't think there's a lot of game playing. You know, I don't 100% get the sense that this is the most mature guy that ever existed. I think he's a little bit older. I think this relationship was a bit of a blindsided thing for him, for both of them, that it like calmed him down, matured him. I get the Nine of Pentacles. His truthfulness is, it affects her sense of safety, and it gives him a sense, being with her gives him a sense of home. That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting the sense of I've found my home. Hopes and fears. The Page of Swords, I think they're both, I think they're besotted with each other. But like I said, I think they both are thinking, oh God, I hope, I can't hardly believe this. It's almost too good to be true. And finally, I get the Seven of Pentacles crossed by the Page of Wands for him. Isn't that cute? Look at that, so cute. They are going to have to work at this. They're going to have to work at it. He especially will have to settle down and work at it. I think she's more mature than he is. Ages, I don't know, but I think she's more mature. I think she's more in touch with her inner stuff. He's a little bit out there. He's kind of like doing stuff. I think they're well suited. Let's read about them together. He needs to do a little more work. Just do a little more work on himself. It's not a bad thing. I just think maybe catching up a little bit or tying up loose ends, or I don't know. Okay, let's ask about them together. Oh, I didn't know this would take so long. I'm sorry. Sorry for anybody who's not interested. Okay, Selena and Benny. Selena and Benny sitting in a tree. Oh. Okay. Hello, what's going on? Now my dogs are going to bark. Okay, them together at the very heart of it. The very, very heart of it, we get the Seven of Swords. Now, this is interesting. This is not the best card to get. This is a card of deception. This is a card of somebody trying to pull one over, somebody trying to get away with something, and it's crossed by the Knight of Wands, which is somebody aggressively taking action. Let me give you a few more cards and then we'll go back and we'll talk about what this means. In the atmosphere is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card that talks about the need for give and take. I would say in a relationship like this, I think it would be important for them to be kind of on the same level in the material world. I hope other people know more about him than I do, because she's really famous, or her name wouldn't ring a bell to me because I don't pay attention to stuff. I don't know if he's really famous, but I hope he has the same kind of professional esteem that she does. That's really important. They have to be, sorry, charge. Kaboom. Sorry, she's gonna go through her repertoire now. Do you want to say hi? You're interrupting me and I'm trying to focus. I think it's important that they be on a par professionally in the world. And I think it's important they're being told here, it's about give and take. It's not only what you're getting from the relationship, it's how much you put into it. Expect to meet the needs of your partner. That's very important. And at the foundation, the 8 of Cups, and I think this is a really appropriate card for this reading. And the 8 of Cups is a man walking away. His back is to the viewer. And he's walking away from a whole bunch of cups. One of them's, knocked over. And he's taken one with him. I think they've both, I'm going to use an old-fashioned term, they both played the field. They've both been around the block. And, they've settled on each other. It's the impression that I get. I think they care about the other person. There's this sense of, I want to give to you and do for you the way you make me feel, I want to do for you. And they're appropriately matched as far as station in life and that kind of thing. Now, interestingly, we get the Hermit in the near past. The Hermit is about a little bit of isolation, a little bit of withdrawal, of spending some time alone in introspection, looking within. I think they have both done that. She for sure. Him, somewhat. Okay. In the near future, the 9 of Swords. I think they're going to go through some stuff. I think it's not going to be perfect. Now, I don't know what the situation is really, but I think they're going to have challenges, and they're going to have to weather those challenges. And I think she personally is going to feel, getting on the other side of them, the other side of those challenges, she's going to feel like she's been liberated from the problems that she's had in the past. Okay. Very good. What's coming up? This is their relationship, the Emperor. This is about strength and clarity of leadership, about taking control of your life. And it's in a larger environment of the Wheel of Fortune. I think they have a karmic relationship. I think this was the relationship that they had to wait for. It's weird to give a reading about something you know absolutely nothing about. Absolutely nothing. This is about good luck, good fortune, but it's about the Wheel of Fortune, the cycle of life. They're working out some stuff together here that has played out before in a former life. Once again, we get the 6 of Swords. This is very good. This is about things are going smooth sailing. Let's call it that, smooth sailing. At the end, here, the outcome, we get the High Priestess. She is absolutely more in command. She has spent some time in introspection. She's done some work on herself. And it's crossed by the Five of Swords reversed. I think one of the big things they're going to have to deal with is a tendency to ego, narcissism. I think both of them are used to being the central character in their play that's in their mind, you know. They're used to being center stage, and they're going to have to learn how to share that. And this is a very positive reading. Whoever they are, I think they've got everything it takes to be a success in the relationship. As long as they learn, and I think they are learning, to take the other person into consideration. Don't get too ego driven or too fixated on your own fame and importance. And I can see both of them having this sense of, I've always been in charge and I've always been the one to call the shots, and now I have to share that. So that may be their biggest challenge. I hope you're not mad. That's all I can say. I just really thought it was fun to do these Valentine cards for Little Love Story, because I just haven't taken these out in a long time, but they just called my name today. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And come back, subscribe, hit the button. Think about joining my membership. 99 cents, and you never know what you're going to find over there. I put a lot of things in membership first before anybody else gets to see them. And in the meantime, slungafoil, sluncha.